Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And welcome to my American Horror Story season ranking. Now, I love watching other people's rankings, so I wanted to do one of my own now that I saw double feature. And have gotten enough of them in. I started buying American Horror Story quite a while ago, and when I would find them at a reasonable price. I like things brand new, still in the wrapper. I don't know, it just feels like they haven't been played as often and have more life left in them, if you know what I mean. So I've been buying them on and off. I started with my favorite and worked down. That's how I bought them. Starting with my favorite on down. So there's 3 seasons that I haven't gotten yet, but I have all the rest, so I feel I have enough to do it. Most people, they don't even show it or anything, but you know me, I'm a physical kind of guy. And I'm not going to sing Olivia Newton-John with you. So welcome to the Pleasure Dome. No, that's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Welcome to Thunderdome. No, that's Tina Turner. Welcome to my American Horror Story ranking. So we're going to start. American Horror Story was first debuted in 2011 with the likes of Sarah Paulson, Jessica Lange, Kathy Bates, Peter Evans, Lady Gaga, Angela Bassett, on and on and on, Lily Rabe, Stevie Nicks, and Coven, on and on and on. All of these cool little stars. So yeah, we're going to do my ranking now. And at the bottom, number 10, Roanoke. Roanoke. Yes, Roanoke. I don't like Roanoke. Where is my... Am I going to have to do this from memory? Where is my little paper? That's not fair. I can do this. Okay, Roanoke. First, a disclaimer. I like all the seasons of American Horror Story. I just like some more than others. I love the concept of American Horror Story. So when I say that Roanoke is number 10, I'm not saying, oh my God, that was so horrible, I hate it. No, I'll buy it if I find it reasonable. I will have it. I've watched it 2 or 3 times, I think. I like it. I like parts of it, but I just didn't really enjoy Roanoke very much. I didn't care for the storyline. I didn't care for some of the filming techniques. I just didn't enjoy Roanoke that much. Kathy Bates was great. Yeah, Roanoke just doesn't do it for me. I didn't really like it that much at all. As far as being super rewatchable, super enjoyable, I felt it was kind of disheveled. And then that brings us to number 9. Number 9, and I was so hoping that we were moving in a good direction, but we weren't, and that is Double Feature. I did not enjoy Double Feature very much. I'll get it when I get around to it, but what saved it and put it above Roanoke, because I hated the format. First of all, a little side note, I am from, when I started movie collecting and being a cinephile, I like a show, a season, with episodes. You understand what I'm saying? If you look at Star Trek, if you look at some newer shows have done it, like the 100 did it, um, but this fad that started, I don't know, maybe I guess maybe a decade now that this fad started creeping in and it got really prevalent, and that is that a season of a show is supposed to be 22 to 26 episodes. Look at all of the shows that used to be it Bewitched or Sanford and Son or Star Trek or, you know, Dallas or Knots Landing. I mean, seasons are supposed to be long, like 23, 24, 25, 26 episodes. You know, the original Star Trek series was like 26 episodes a season. Um, so was Deep Space Nine and even Enterprise and stuff like that. Well, the last season wasn't, but you know what I mean. Next Generation. This 10 to 12 episode season shit is so lazy. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. So, double feature screwed up big when they split it in half and put two shows together with only what, you know, 5 or 6 episodes. So I didn't like that to begin with. You know, you've cut it down, and I don't like that. I don't like Twitter syndrome in anything. Um, Videos, I hate, what is that place, TikTok? Man, y'all need to get some attention span. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like, what, I want to go to a platform where you can't have a video more than 4 minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, don't you people sit the fuck down? Okay? Sit down. Relax. What is this? I mean, I can't say anything in 20 words or less. I don't know what you people's problem are. But this Twitter syndrome thing, I don't like it. So, double feature had one big knock on it right there, because you're already short enough with 10, 12, 13 episodes. That's short enough. Don't try to fuck me over with 5 episodes or something. That's just not going to do it. The second part is, I did like the first one, you know, the first half. I did like it a lot better than the alien in the second one. But it was just not a good direction to go in. Stop. I'm telling you, stop. Stop lowering the amount of episodes and just stop this direction, okay? You need to go back, okay, to what made this show great. So at number 10 we have Roanoke. At number 9 we have Double Feature. Now, number 8, unpopular opinion, and it's going to make people go, oh man, you got to be kidding me. But it's mine. It's my ranking. It's my show. Okay. And number 8, believe it or not, is Coven. Oh, sorry. But Coven gave me issues. I had issues. Only reason it's number 8 was because anything can beat Double Feature and Roanoke, in my opinion. But what saved the show is Stevie Nicks' appearances in it, which is just amazing. I love the story. I love Jessica Lange. I loved Angela Bassett. I loved their parts. I loved Kathy Bates' introduction to the series. Here's my problem. I understand that the show was supposed to be about a bunch of dipshit little girls who had just discovered their powers as they worked through learning how to use them. Well, first of all, they only had, what, one apiece? That was kind of like shitty right there. But they all seemed... I just really wasn't really interested in, you know, Teenage Witch Academy, okay? What was that show? Serena the Teenage Witch, or something like that. But anyway, I just was really put off by that concept. I don't really want to see a bunch of juvenile witches coming into their power as they try to figure out how to fumble their way through shit, screwing up. And I don't know, it was very parody, you know, because the what I wanted was all of them to be powerful, like Jessica Lange. I wanted all of them to be powerful, like Angela Bassett. I didn't want to see a bunch of juvenile, hormone-ridden kids trying to figure out how to goof around with their power. So, as much as I tried to love it, as you know, as the show progressed, I just kept going, when are they going to do something? I mean, literally, that's what I was saying during the episodes. You know, every episode I'd be like, well, that was a cock up, you know? I mean, I'd have put Peter Evans back together too. But, you know, it was just, it was too frenetic. It was too sloshy. Like, you know, I just wasn't into that. I was into Angela Bassett. I was into Jessica Lange. But just seeing a bunch of kids like fumble around, they just didn't seem powerful. And I wanted the witches to be powerful, like really powerful, and know what they were doing. I mean, I don't want to watch, you know, baby Spider-Man. I want to see Spider-Man. And that was my problem with Coven, is that they all just, it just wasn't my thing to watch a bunch of fledgling, fumbling witches figure out their powers. I just, you know, but like I said, remember my disclaimer if you start to get angry. I still love Coven. I still watch it. How many times have I went through this? 'Cause I do love American Horror Story. So, I mean, I've went through it several times, 3 or 4 at least, you know, and since it came out. So, I do love it. It just didn't thrill me like it should. You know, it didn't thrill me like it should because I wanted them to be powerful, and they were not powerful. They were fumbling, except for Angela Bassett and Jessica Lange. So that was my problem with Coven. That's the reason it's number 8, and that's just the way it is. Number 7 and 6, I have a difficult time with because they switch on me sometimes. But tonight, this is their order, but they switch on me sometimes. But at number 7, we have Cult. I really love Cult. I do love Cult. I love the storyline. I wasn't bothered by the politics. I agreed with it. This country is this, and America, that is. And yeah, I really loved Cult. The storyline, I think Peter Evans was phenomenal in it. It had some little hitches here and there, but I actually really, really love Cult, and that's why it sits at number 7. But as I said, sometimes it switches around with number 6, which is Apocalypse. Sometimes they switch on me. So I kind of call them a tie. They switch on me, but I love Apocalypse. See, I don't have my paper. 7, 6. Okay, so we got Apocalypse at number 6. Now, this was a lot better continuation of the Coven story. This I loved. This had power. Okay. This had, you know, I loved Jessica Lange's return. I loved this whole thing. I loved everything about Apocalypse. So it's just that I like the others better that come after it. And so, yes, at number 6, we have Apocalypse. And at number 5, we have one that I haven't gotten yet, and that is 1984. 1984 is number 5. I love 1984 so much because if you've watched this channel, my favorite genre of horror is what? Slashers. So you can imagine what a thrill. You can imagine what a thrill 1984 was to me. I loved everything about it. I don't know. The only complaint I had or would have about 1984 is that I really didn't like the glorification of Ramirez. That was just a little over the line to me, being a true crime nut. I don't know. There was just a couple of inappropriate things, in my opinion. But that's fine. 1984 is phenomenal, and it sits at number 5 in my list. At number 4, I wonder what it is. It's Hotel. Now, Hotel is perfect. First of all, I'm not a real big Lady Gaga fan. I like this heavy metal version of Swine that this metal guy redone. I do like a few of her songs. I like Born This Way, despite the fact that it is just Madonna's Express Yourself redone. I like Born This Way. I like Alejandro. I like Bad Romance. But there's another one. I actually like that little kid that redid Paparazzi on the piano at the school play. If you've seen that video, I like his version a lot better than Lady Gaga's. But I love Swine. I love Alejandro. I love Born This Way. So I like a few of her songs. I was really stunned by her performance in this show. I didn't know she could act and be that good at acting, but everything about Hotel was perfection. I loved the story. I loved all of their performances. I loved, just the scenes. Hotel was really scary, and Hotel was really phenomenal. So it definitely sits at number 4. At number 3, we have one of the best butt shots ever. But we have Freak Show. Again, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Peter Evans, Jessica Lange was flawless. Everything about Freak Show I loved. That dude was so fucking crazy. Okay. So I guess it's kind of like what people have. There's nothing like a pretty psycho. Because you have this dichotomy in your brain, because like half the time you're like turned on by them, and then the other half you're like disgusted and want to kill them. It's a weird dichotomy to have, emotional dichotomy in your brain, to have a character that you feel that way about. And that whiny nutcase in Freak Show did that for me. He is an absolute psychotic lunatic, but he was gorgeous and from top to bottom. But I loved Freak Show. Freak Show is phenomenal. And like I said, you know, well, let's move on. And then I'll say what I was just going to say. Number two, pretty much in order now. Number two is Asylum. We can do the name song, the name game song, but Asylum is phenomenal. Everything about Asylum is perfection, just like 3, 4, and 5, in my opinion. Well, 5 had that one little thing, but 1 through 4 is complete flawlessness. There is absolutely nothing in the first 4 seasons of American Horror Story negative. Nothing. Nothing. I don't care what you say. Nothing. Asylum is number 2. Jessica Lange was phenomenal. How she went from someone that I hated at the beginning of the show to someone that I loved at the end of the show, by the end of the show, was fantastic. So, so I just love the artwork of these releases as well. But yes, Asylum is number 2. And number 1, of course, there's only one left, right? And that's Murder House. The one that began it all. The introduction to this new show, the introduction to this new thing, and Murder House is what made this new thing explode, because it is absolute perfection. And that's what I said about the first, 1984, which is 5th on my list. It's like Ivory soap, 99.9% pure. Because there was that one issue. That was the only issue that I had, was that I felt a little bit during especially the, beginning of the end, that they glorified the Night Stalker in a way that I felt, even as a horror buff and as a true crime aficionado, even I thought that it was a little inappropriate. Their glorification of Ramirez was a little too much for me, but not enough to like knock any points off or anything like that. It was just a little personal thing. So, but when you go back to number 4, in my list anyway, which is Hotel, and then Freak Show, Murder House, and Asylum, the first 4, there isn't one single negative to me. 100%. Murder House, Asylum, then Freak Show, then Hotel, doing it in my order. Those shows are 100% perfection, 1984. Then we started to have little issues. Cult. And remember, when I'm talking about those 5, I'm talking about my list, because we're not including Coven. Coven's down there at number 8. But Coven as a show, though, I think was phenomenal. I just didn't like the execution. That was just a personal thing. That's the reason why some people may not agree, and they may love it, but I don't, because I had a personal issue with what I enjoyed and what I wanted to see, and that is, I wanted to see a bunch of powerful witches, not 2, with a bunch of fledglings who were walking around causing all kinds of mayhem. That's it. It was almost a little too comedic for me. It's like Scooby-Doo-ish, a Scooby-Doo witch making mistakes, and that's not, I understand that that's the way it would be in real life, If you came into some power, you would have to get used to it. So I'm not saying it's not accurate or logical. I'm just saying it's not what I wanted to see. I didn't enjoy watching fumbling witches learning how to do their thing. That's just not personally pleasurable to me. So, there you go. That's it. My ranking: number 10 is Roanoke. Number 9 is Double Feature. Number 8 is Coven. Number 7 is Cult. Number 6 is Apocalypse. Number 5 is 1984, which I'm hoping to find at a reasonable price. Number 4 is Hotel. Number 3 is Freak Show. Number 2 is Asylum. And number 1 is Murder House. So yes, there you go. That's my American Horror Story season ranking. And thank you for stopping by. If you have one of your own, let me know what you think about it in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. My next one will be my April update, where I do, because my May stuff is sitting going we would like to be put into the just received place whenever you get around to it. I'm okay, alright, I'll do that next. But remember, support indie horror. You're a very special person. Never let anyone take that away from you by action or words or deed. Isn't deed and action the same thing? But never let them do it, because there's only one of you, and you're very, very special. And I'm glad to have your vibes coming through the computer or the phone or mobile or whatever you're watching this on. And I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. And I will see you in the next video. Love you. Miss you. Bye-bye. I'll be back shortly. Or tomorrow in your case. Bye.